a little slurpy. But since it's the weekend, let's get the drink. I'm sitting out here at the table and I have some freebie things I want to show you. They're not necessarily free, but stove that burns the heat fuel. It's made without any cost except the can itself. There's a cat food can and a pop can that's inside. And you see I cut layers of the aluminum, and that's what fills the gap. And I've got bean dip and 5-hour energy, and the Fritos is just extra. But I've been eating the Fritos and the bean dip, and that's what gave me the idea to put this little video out. So I have the idea of using these cans. I have a few of these I've saved for some reason. This is bean dip, and it also comes in the cheese dip. And I typically use this kind of metal container to keep my coffee in. And you can put hot chocolate or any kind of dry ingredients in there, but it's a similar size. And this Fritos can says the weight is 9 ounces, but I measured it, it holds a cup. I made a cup of coffee and I dumped it in here, tasted it, and it tasted great. From what I understand, the lining in those cans is not harmful. And if you didn't use it every single day, I bet it wouldn't be harmful. I use heat, as you see in the background. I often put it in these little containers, energy or 2-hour energy or something. I like the grape flavor. Don't use them all the time either, but sometimes I like them. I take that bottle and dump it in my water bottle. Flavors the water and gives me a little pep during the day. See, it doesn't take very long for that water to boil. I've probably been talking a minute. So far, this is all a homemade cook set. A bean can, the 5-hour energy, and the stove down below here is made from a cat food can and a slender pop can. White Claw drinks come in those, and Bubbler comes in those. Monster drinks of some kind, Red Bull comes in those, and that's what I made that out of. I don't need to boil this water, I just need to get it hot. And I'm going to use this Nescafe 3-in-1 to make a drink. And again, that's an 8-ounce cup, 1 cup. I measured it, 1 cup to about that line, if you can see where it is. It's run out of fuel. It's not burning anymore. This one is the Canadian, I think, brand. It uses brown sugar. Kind of hard to get in the US. But of course, Amazon sells to everybody. There's my little stove. No fiberglass or carbon fiber mesh, just rings of the pop can. And it works great. All completely free. And here's my free spoon hack. Just use the wrapper to stir it. Now to drink out of that can's going to be awfully hot to touch, and it's certainly going to be hot on my lips. So first sip. Still too hot to touch. I bet you I can fix that. I gotta weigh. 1 minute. Perhaps you do, or perhaps you don't know about making a cup out of a Foster's beer can. But this is a large size beer can. The rim is made of a tuna can top, or a cat food. And you can make a lid out of a different one, because you have to cut the inside of this, but you need the outside to make this. But look at here, that metal lid fits right on there just perfect. And looky here too. The bean dip lid fits on there. Not super tight, but pretty tight. And here's the one that I cut the drink out of. And it's cooled off a little bit more, but just to be dramatic, it's a little slurpy. But since it's the weekend, I'll stick my pinky out. First name is Michael, so I can do what I want with one glove. And then I can drink it just like that. This is. So that's about, I mark on it 2 ounces of fuel. That for this kind of a stove here, 1 ounce of fuel will boil a cup of water. This size is a cup. So 1 ounce, half of that bottle will boil enough to make a cup of coffee. So for the review, a bean dip can, or you can also use a cheese can. These are Frito-Lay snacks. One of my favorite goes with the Scoops chips. And the bean dip can, and they stack nicely. You can cut a drinking lid out of one of the lids. I probably made that way too big. My mouth's not that wide. Very similar size to the Foster's cup. You can use this to cook in also, but it takes some preparation. This is only a 1 cup container. It doesn't take any preparation. You clean it out and it's ready to go. You could store dry ingredients in a can like this with a snap-on lid. You could put hot chocolate mix or sugar or coffee or maybe a bannock mix or a pancake mix. And then they would stack. I've got one last little ditty to show you. And I have to tell you, drinking out of this lid's not probably a great idea. It is messy and dribbles out underneath it. It gets on your pretty clean shirt. The next idea I have is you could take this sock, stack up these cans with your bannock mix and your coffee or hot chocolate. You could stack those together and slip them down into a sock. So there's 3 of those containers into a sock. Why would you want to put them in a sock? Well, it just keeps them together. And you could tie a string around that, and it would keep all of your ingredients together. Slip this down into your pack. You don't have 3 cans rolling around. And if these lids did happen to come off, they'd be inside of the sock. I think that'd be a great idea. Thank you for watching. This is just a way to repurpose some empty bottles and containers into some usable camping gear. Have a great day.